Hi everyone, welcome to Difference Frames the World, a channel to find a real China. In today's China on the World video, we want to share China's perspectives on world affairs, based on Wang Wenbin's remarks on July 5, 2021. As the press conference is very long, we have to break it into two parts, and here is part 2. We uploaded part 1 earlier today. Please follow the link in the description, and the pinned comment to watch you have not watched it. Xinhua news agency asked the spokesman. It is reported that some international scientists co-signed an open letter, clamoring for a comprehensive inquiry into the origin of the novel coronavirus, and even calling for an alternative investigation jointly carried out by Western countries with the OECD, G7 and the Quad, etc. Do you have any comments? Wang Wenbin said, I noted the report you mentioned. It is not the first time for the so-called international scientists to resort to grandstanding. Who are these so-called scientists? One of the open letter initiators is a senior researcher of the U.S. think tank Atlantic Council. But this can conceal neither his background as a former member of the White House National Security Council nor the politician in his bones. Another is a bank data engineer, an imposter in the field of origin studies, who, driven by ignorance, makes unverified and irresponsible remarks. For those scientists who aim to craft a publicity stunt and attract attention, my advice is to concentrate on scientific studies of their research fields and do something that benefits humanity. At the same time, we've seen many scientists who uphold the truth-seeking spirit of science and an objective and just position. However, they are attacked and slandered by certain governments and radical forces and even receive death threats. It is thought-provoking to see such distortion of right and wrong. We believe that among those who signed the letter are some unwitting scientists. They are either kept in the dark or taken advantage of. I want to tell them that the WHO Joint Mission Report already reached a scientific and authoritative conclusion for the study's first phase. Don't be blinded by doctored truth, misled by politicized science, or deceived by rumors and lies. They should come back to science and reason. The open letter states that the investigation team should have the right to conduct a complete investigation. Origin tracing is and can only be a joint scientific study, and should never become an investigation on China only. Concerning the requirement to share raw data, China presented item-by-item raw data to WHO experts during the joint China-WHO study. Chinese and foreign experts used the data to identify the approach and plan for the analysis, and analyze and interpret the research outcomes. The findings of the study involve the in-depth participation of foreign experts and have their full endorsement. The open letter also proposes an alternative investigation carried out by Western countries with G7 and the Quad that groups the US, Japan, India, and Australia. It reveals the true intention of certain countries to blatantly seek presumption of guilt and political manipulation in the name of international scientists. I want to reiterate that origin tracing is a scientific issue, and the right approach is to rely on scientists, follow the science, and adopt scientific methods. The right direction is to follow the WHA's requirements and conclusions and suggestions in the Joint Mission Report, and conduct a more thorough study and cooperation in a broader scope. Any action that politicizes origin tracing poisons the atmosphere of scientific research and hampers global cooperation in this regard, and undermines international efforts to fight the virus. We advise certain countries and relevant forces to stop the clumsy performance and contribute to human life and health. The paper, according to media reports, the UNESCO World Heritage Committee announced on June 22 that it's considering the addition of Australia's Great Barrier Reef on a list of World Heritage in danger. Australia's Environment Minister claimed there were politics behind it. Australian media believed the Australian government was pointing the finger at China as it chairs the committee. Do you have any response? Wang Wenbin answered, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, recently recommended that the Great Barrier Reef be listed as a World Heritage Site, in danger, representing a recommendation made by this professional advisory body of the World Heritage Committee based on the long-term evaluation. As a party to the Convention concerning the protection of the world cultural and natural heritage, and especially a member of the World Heritage Committee, Australia should lead by example and respect the opinion of the professional evaluation institution. It should face up to its severe failings in world heritage protection and earnestly step up preservation efforts instead of politicizing technical issues, wantonly hurling unfounded accusations at UNESCO and its professional evaluation body, and shifting the blame to others. Moreover, it should exert less pressure on the World Heritage Committee through innuendo and sensational media reports to sway the committee's impartial and just decision. We urge the Australian side to earnestly fulfill its obligations under the Convention concerning the protection of the world cultural and natural heritage. It should take the opinion of the professional body seriously and make concrete efforts to preserve the Great Barrier Reef and take care of the treasure of the whole of humanity. CCTV asked. A few days ago, China's permanent mission to the UN office at Geneva held a virtual meeting on the first anniversary of implementing the national security law in Hong Kong on the sidelines of the 47th session of the UN Human Rights Council. Could you provide more details? Wang Wenbin answered, China's permanent mission to the UN office at Geneva held the other day a virtual meeting on the first anniversary of implementing the national security law in Hong Kong. The topic is the transition from chaos to order and prosperity on the sidelines of the 47th session of the UN Human Rights Council. Representatives from the Hong Kong SAR government and patriots shared the positive changes brought by the legislation from various perspectives. They stressed that the national security law safeguards Hong Kong residents' lawful rights and freedoms, and the SAR's high degree of autonomy, lasting peace, security, stability, and prosperity. The improvement of the electoral system helps fully implement the principle of patriots administering Hong Kong and ensures the steady and sustained implementation of one country, two systems. Participants said this event could help diplomats in Geneva understand the actual situation in Hong Kong better after the national security law entered into force for 1 year. They said Hong Kong is an inalienable part of China's territory, and Hong Kong affairs are purely China's internal affairs. They support China in implementing one country, two systems in Hong Kong, and believe the promulgation and implementation of the national security law and improvement of Hong Kong's election system fall within China's sovereignty. They pointed out that Western countries should work on their own human rights problems, stop politicizing human rights issues, respect other countries' sovereignty and territorial integrity, and stop meddling in China's internal affairs using Hong Kong-related issues. Since the law on safeguarding national security in the Hong Kong SAR took effect 1 year ago, national security has been safeguarded. Social order has been restored, the rule of law and justice have been upheld, and the lawful rights and freedoms of Hong Kong citizens and foreign residents in the SAR have been better protected in a safer environment. It is an undeniable fact that all unbiased people would recognize. A few Western countries' plots to meddle in China's internal affairs under the guise of human rights will prove futile. It has been met and will continue to be met with strong opposition from the international community. Please note that we have linked the new COWA channel in the description and pinned comment. Viewers can watch previous Chin on World Affairs videos there. Please follow the link to subscribe to the new channel. Thank you so much for your time on this video. If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and share them with people you know. We publish videos daily and post long videos on topics viewers are interested in once or twice a week. If you have anything you want to share with us, please leave your comments below.